The Knicks have been the story of New York because the Rangers stunk. The Islanders get eliminated in the first round too. Baseball right now is in the beginning stages. Football, OTAs, the draft has passed, so there's really nothing to talk about. The Knicks has been center stage for New York sports since they made the playoffs. They finally move out of the first round into the second round. They lose against Miami, gave them a great war, a challenge. Well, actually, Jalen Brunson gave them a good challenge. The team didn't give much of anything, but they have something to look forward to in the offseason. They actually have a player they can build their team around. The last time they had this was Carmelo Anthony, but Carmelo Anthony wasn't a winner. I think Jalen Brunson is a winner, and I think he could get this team to an Eastern Conference championship. I think he could get this team to an NBA championship if he has the right pieces around him. And right now, they don't. Mitchell Robinson is a nice player, but can't stay healthy. RJ Barrett is a nice player, but he can't shoot. And we all know what Julius Randle is, the bricklayer himself. He's an all-NBA player in the regular season, and for some reason, in the playoffs, the guy doesn't show up. Emmanuel Quigley is a nice player. He was runner-up for Sixth Man of the Year. Great. Is that as far as he's going to go? Obi Toppin, nice player. How many air balls did he shoot against Miami? They were horrible as one of the best rebounding teams in the NBA all season long against Miami and G League players, two of them to be exact, to be out-rebounded by a team that didn't even have two of their best players playing in that series, Tyler Hero being one of them. That was embarrassing. So what do the Knicks do in the offseason? Is Tom Thibodeau staying? Do they bring in a Nick Nurse or a Budenholzer? Have they gone as far as they can with Tom Thibodeau? I think they have. Does Leon Rose believe that? I don't know. We haven't heard from him, and we might not hear from him this offseason. It seems like Tom Thibodeau is coming back for one more year. I think Leon Rose had a fantastic offseason last year. They didn't draft anybody. They thought they were going to get one of these picks from Dallas, from Charlotte, from Detroit, and it all gets screwed around with because they were protected picks, which I don't understand. This Joel Embiid story is a story, and I'll tell you why. James Harden is not coming back to Philadelphia. He's opting out of his player option. Doc Rivers is gone. I think the time that the 76ers had a chance to win is over. And I think Joel believes that too. Joel is getting up there in age. He's been fighting injury. He won his first MVP this year, as that's what he only wanted to do because he was crying about that for the last 2 years, that he should have been winning. And then finally wins one, and he's the only player in NBA history to win an MVP and not get into an Eastern or Western Conference final. So good for him. I believe he thinks that he could be a missing piece to an organization and a team that can use a player of his talents. The Knicks, over the last couple of years, are looking for that superstar. They found one in Jalen Brunson, but they need a number 2 or even a number 1 that can be the Batman or the Robin to Jalen Brunson and then have all the other pieces work into this team. The question is Philadelphia willing to trade him, 1? And 2, what do the Knicks have to give up to get him? Because if you bring in Joel Embiid and you have to give away 2 or 3 of your young talented players on your roster now and then have to give away picks, you put your team and you set your team back because you still need depth and you don't have it then. One of the strengths for the New York Knicks this year was depth. And I think trading away Fournier, and I think they'll do that this offseason, Derrick Rose retiring, I could see all this stuff happening. What I don't see what's going to happen is Joel Embiid coming to the Knicks because I think the Knicks could set themselves even better in the offseason next year because Giannis could opt out of his player option. So he could be free. They can wait for that. They can have another year with the great Julius Randle, who just completely stinks in the playoffs, and maybe try to go as far as they can another year with them. They can bring in a free agent that can help out and maybe give them a little bit more depth to this roster. They can bring in Bridges, who could opt out of his player option going into this offseason, which a lot of people believe he will. And if he does, he's another Villanova alumni, a guy that knows Jalen Brunson, knows Hart, who the Knicks will probably re-sign. They could bring a Villanova all-world team together.
Maybe hire Jay Wright as your next coach if that's the case.
Maybe. You bring in Bridges to this team with Brunson and Hart. You have the veteran/young talent that could help you get over the hump. I think Bridges could be the missing piece. And you don't have to give up anything. And you don't have to throw away talent for Bridges if he becomes available. And everything that I've heard, I believe he will not take his player option. So is Joel Embiid the real missing piece to this team? Or do they just need another player that is strong in certain aspects of the game that can help out on the defensive side of the ball and the rebounding side of the ball and give you 18, 19 points, which you could use to win moving forward for this New York Knicks team?